The tabletop takeaway.
Game mechanics on display.
Three designers share the stage.
Pick a genre and we'll play.
The tabletop takeaway.
Welcome back to the Tabletop Takeaway. I'm Charlie McCarran,
I'm Trevor Muller-Hagel.
I'm Ananda Gunratna.
and this is our wrap-up episode on drafting games. So we have been talking about 3 different drafting games. We started with...
Seven Wonders.
7 Wonders, thank you.
No problem.
The Banishing
Was the third one.
was the third one, and the one I picked was Biblios in the middle.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. Nailed it. We're getting it.
And I've just been thrown off because I was looking at a list of all the games,
All the drafting games.
all the
Yeah.
drafting
All the games that we've done, too.
Because we were saying that, isn't every game a drafting game?
Doesn't at least half of our
No.
games have drafting in them?
No, they don't.
Only
it turns
about
out.
4 we've done. We decided.
Yep.
But the reason it felt like it is because a lot of games have some element of like drafting from a set of cards, especially nowadays. Like a lot of the heavier strategy games have some like market of cards that you
Sure.
pick from.
Well, in Catan, technically the start of the game is a snake draft, but it's not really a draft because you're placing your settlements out. And so,
Right.
it has a kind of component of that, but it's not fully what I would call a drafting game or have drafting in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we kind of, there's action drafting too, where it's, and if there, you could be super broad with what drafting means, but we
Right.
kind of,
we have
for
a
our
definition.
definition, meaning like you're getting a thing, like whether it's a card or maybe a tile.
It's like a unique thing that means other people can't also get that thing.
Yep.
Right. You pick it up, grab it, it is yours now.
Yep. And the other thing we were thinking is that it is a free thing that you get.
It doesn't have a
Yeah.
cost.
You're not buying it.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
spending resources.
And sort of going along with that is that people draft the same number of times. So there are games where like you can choose to go and buy stuff, or you can choose not to go and buy stuff.
I realize Seven Wonders breaks that immediately because you have to spend resources to play the cards that you're drafting.
It's
Yeah.
I know,
yeah.
which is weird, but it's not like from a market, right? You have the cards in front of you, and you choose one of the cards in front of you that you will be playing, and you could do it as getting money for it.
Yeah, I
Here's
don't
another
know.
one.
I don't know if that requirement is
Yeah.
that necessary.
Yeah, here's another one I just was remembering. Small World, where you
Oh, yeah.
draft from a pile, and this is a common technique where you're drafting from a row of things, and if you take the thing that's farther along, you have to spend coins to get
Yeah.
to it.
Sure.
You
have to
put one
spend-
coin on each thing before it. And that's like a nice way to...
It's a natural market.
Of course, that breaks the equal number of drafts.
It does.
principle.
So,
So-
so your other idea was that each person gets...
For like really strict drafting games.
Sure.
Which
Yeah,
is where
when
the
we're-
focus is on the drafting.
Yeah, not as a secondary or tertiary mechanic,
Yeah.
but like it is the core of the game. Which these 3 games, it was the case.
Yeah.
You are taking a card every turn, even in Seven Wonders. No matter what, even if you can't play the card, you still take one card. And
Yeah.
you could hate draft the card and get money for it, or you could
You
get
could
a card you've been looking for, or you have
build
the
your
card,
wonder.
build your wonder, or you
But-
could have a card that upgrades to that card.
But you're
So-
always taking a card.
But you're always taking a card no matter what. Just like, in the Banishing, you're always taking a row or a column of cards.
Yeah.
Biblios, you're always taking 4 cards one at a time.
Yeah.
And you get stuck with whatever you get stuck with. Mm-hmm. It's...
Yeah, and we happened to pick all cards, but like I was thinking of Azul, another like popular draft game where you get a chunk of 4 tiles at a time.
Or Ultimate Chicken Horse.
Yes, the video game that we talked about
Yeah.
on this show.
It is it
has a
fits the
drafting mechanic
criteria.
in there, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a drafting game.
drafting a weapon to put on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
So
a goofy game.
yeah, and I'm sure you listeners are now thinking like, well, yeah,
Well,
you guys
you're not thinking
obviously
about
should have
Rubber
picked this game because.
You already broke your own rule.
Yeah.
It's okay, we understand.
But okay, so now that we've got somewhat of a cluttered definition of what a drafting game is. What do you guys think? Have you learned through this series about like what makes a good drafting game from a game design perspective?
Having a choice involved in the drafting at some point, at some stage, it could be as simple as, this card is going to go one of 4 places. Where does it go? Or, you have to pick 3 cards. Like, there's always an interesting decision about what you're picking and why you're picking it. And normally, I love it when there are maybe multiple reasons to do a choice. So, like, like we're doing the hate drafting, or it's like, oh, hey, he's going to get that, extra thing if I don't take this first, so I need to make sure I take it. And then the choice becomes, well, how do I use this card to the best benefit for me? And so, yeah, having just multiple thoughts about a single draft. Like, if you're just trying to draft the most, yellow cards in your hand for set collection or something, that maybe not as interesting, but if you have a reason for that collection to do a certain ability, it's like, oh, cool, now I get to do this cool thing. And I do the yellow things really good because I almost said pineapples because of Mamma Mia. That was a memory game. But yeah, just, having a reason to choose what you're doing. Well, multiple reasons.
And I guess going into that is also having information. Like, I remember I just
taking a stab at Biblios again.
It's the players need to know enough about the state of the game, to make sensible decisions about what to pick, because the whole game is about what do you pick.
Absolutely, yeah. I still enjoyed Biblios.
I like
it. It has good elements to it for sure.
I'm not saying it's bad. I wanted more
that part of Biblios was more frustrating.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you brought up the idea that you have things to choose from. And Biblios is the opposite. You choose one. You're not even choosing. You get a thing.
But then you choose where it goes until you can't anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you're out of choices.
You're choosing a thing. It's just a question of you just only get to see them one at a time.
Yeah.
Rather than all
Very
at
myopic.
once.
And interestingly, the 3 we picked don't have an aspect of drafting that I sometimes find stressful, and I think other people do in a draft game, where you see the whole row of cards that you're picking from, and someone gradually, before it gets around to your turn, everything that you wanted is taken away.
Yeah.
And like that can be fun, but it also, I think, is an inherent downside in drafting games where it's like you're planning out what you're going to do.
If you have like more of a static market and everyone's drafting before you, that can be really frustrating for sure.
Yeah.
And market is probably the wrong word, but like,
Yeah, the display of
the inventory.
Yeah, I think I've heard that about several of my designs, not specifically because of a market, but just because things change so much in between turns.
Yeah.
That it's tactical rather than strategic.
Oh, sure. Short term versus long term.
Yeah, and those kind of games, it's like, well, is the row being refilled every time? So maybe that's like a little more feels good kind of game. Like, ooh, I have more options than, or different options than the last person, versus like whittling down the pile, the things you can draft from. And I guess like probably I'm thinking of the Surplus of Sloths game I made. That like the game is so quick that it almost doesn't matter if someone takes something you wanted. It's kind of like, oh darn, oh well, I'll bet next time. And yeah, whereas if it was a really heavy game, like, well, Arc Nova was on the top of BGG, close to the top anyways. And yeah, it's like if you're planning out your whole thing and someone takes that one card that you really needed, like that's so stressful.
Yeah.
If people are taking long turns in between.
Yeah, it's almost like, Seven Wonders, you have the simultaneous action in addition to having the draft. Was it the pick and pass? That's a really good way to limit the information that you see and get excited about.
Yeah.
And so, like, if I don't see what Charlie's choosing from, then that might actually just be better. So I don't, like, try to, like, shoot for something that I'll never
Yeah.
be able to get because it's going to be gone.
Well, and I guess the other thing about how Seven Wonders kind of avoids this problem is that as you acquire the information, you have all of those options available to you. Like when someone passes you the hand of 6 cards because they took one, you could take any of those 6 cards. If you don't take one of those 6 cards and somebody else takes it, you only have yourself to blame.
Right.
Because you could have taken it. Whereas in a game with a rotating market, you take a card you like better comes out, and then someone gets it before you can.
Yeah, and it's like there's no way you could have done anything about it.
This is making me think about the problem I've identified in some of my own designs, like my time travel game, where it does have this frustrating, ever-changing aspect to it, and like thinking about this and how it works in Seven Wonders with everything being available at the start. Maybe the solution is just expose all of the options to the players at the start and whittle them down over the course of the game, as opposed to having them rotating in and out. I don't mean like necessarily in a drafting type, like having drafting mechanics in all these games. I'm saying if the problem with your game is that things change too much in between turns, then maybe change the structure so that the options are strictly narrowing down, as opposed to cycling all the time.
And then in theory, the first few turns are going to be the longest, right, as you're analyzing the information, but you become familiar with the information. And so as things get narrowed down, it's like, okay, I want to make sure I get that before they get it next time.
It's making me think of, I think Kemet has all the powers, they might be god powers or something. Everything is out there available for the taking from the start of the game. And it's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
But for people who play the game a lot, it's like, well, I have access to all this.
Yes.
So
I mean, Food Chain Magnate is like that too. All of the milestones are there from the very beginning of the game, waiting to be taken.
And it's not a draft, it's an achievement unlock.
Yes.
It's fun.
And it doesn't have to be strictly all of them. Like Seven Wonders breaks it up into 3 rounds.
Right.
But that is in contrast to having some constantly cycling set of cards.
Do you think the Banishing did 3 rounds because of Seven Wonders?
No.
Oh, okay. That'd be really interesting.
I wouldn't think so. No. But, I think, I mean, this seems like a decent enough takeaway for me, because this is a problem I've encountered in my own designs.
Sure.
And maybe the solution is, instead of having things cycle all the time, break the game up into chunks, and then have the options within each chunk just strictly narrow, so that players don't have to deal with opportunities arising and then going away before they can act on them.
Oh, yeah.
Or like sometimes I think people are tempted to, I hear this in playtests too, it's like, well, why don't you just make this like a market row you can pick from rather than drawing cards? But there's part of me that's like, there is something just easy about, hey, draw 2, pick 1, or something like that. And it's like the Seven Wonders thing. You aren't feeling like, oh man, that thing I really needed just got taken.
Right, yeah. It's like, okay, well, I prioritized that other card. I really wanted that other card.
Yeah.
Now that choice is gone.
Yeah. So my takeaway is maybe sometimes try using chunks rather than just constantly cycling through cards in a market.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, just like with the Banishing, you're able to then reuse some of the information as well, so that you get more familiar with what's going on. So I don't know if your game would have anything like that in it, but like just being able to become more familiar with the game as it proceeds, can be great. Seven Wonders, you go to war. Maybe you haven't played before. Oh, I got hurt, but they only got 1 point for that. I could get better and then get 3 points for the next one for the Act 2 war. And so, like, it's really interesting how that can kind of teach you the game too.
Yeah. What kind of a drafting game would you make now?
I would want to base something off of the Banishing.
I would too.
That tickled my fancy.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Well, I already talked in that episode. I like that idea of the
Love drafting.
Love drafting.
and
co-op.
Yeah.
and like pick and pass style.
But like a pick and pass, yeah.
Maybe.
I remember several years ago, I kind of wanted to make a video game, a sort of roguelike version of The Banishing, without the co-op aspect.
Sure.
But I figured that sort of system would work really well in a roguelike because you can just swipe your finger across the row.
Oh.
So like the game would just be swipe.
We tested a
paper
prototype of that.
I probably talked to you about that.
No wonder The Banishing reminded me so much of an Ananda prototype, because you literally had something like that.
Yeah, because if you know, on a screen, swiping is a very natural action. And I can imagine you could just swipe through round after round after round, rapid fire on the screen.
That one.
Yes,
that one.
For a video game, that's a great interface.
Yeah.
You should make that.
But then have it be real time.
Why would it be? Why would I want it to be real time?
I don't know, because you're trying to get as many things as you can, so you might mess up.
No.
Okay.
It can't be real time.
It's a video game. All video games are real time.
No. What? No. If
Civilization has a word with me.
I don't remember why I stopped working on that.
Is it because of the other designs?
Yeah, that's probably why. Yeah. But yeah, I think it would work well as a video game. But I think also just other takes on the co-op drafting genre as pioneered by The Banishing. I don't know if I can think of any other co-op drafting games.
Mechs versus Minions.
Yes, I guess.
But anything else? I don't know. I didn't see any others.
Mechs vs. Minions is a co-op game with drafting elements.
Sure.
I don't think of it as a co-op drafting. It's not a game about drafting.
I think, so after you guys were just talking, I'd want to do a smash up of Smash Up and The Banishing to create the game, so that when you choose a character, you have cards go into the deck that are used for the drafting mechanism, but everyone will have access to them.
Oh.
I don't know. This is just
That could be cool.
a random thought I just had. I'm also using Smash Up a lot in my designs right now. I'm just like, oh yeah, just smash those two things together. Great, done.
Actually, I am too. Or you mean like smash up the game, or
like the premise
mashups?
of mash. Well,
Of combining two decks.
of combining two decks or two things together to make a unique thing.
I don't know why I'm talking so much about Weavers now, but I did that with Weavers.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Each player's deck was made up of two decks of, I think it was 18 cards.
Okay.
Because that made deck building easier
Yeah.
than having people construct their own decks. And also it was important to build synergies into the cards.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. My original Heroes game back in a couple years ago, it was actually directly a smash up. You'd choose a hero. And then two abilities that would go with that hero.
Yeah.
So you'd have like basic stuff that everyone has, and then these two unique things that would be meshed together.
Yeah, it's a nice compromise between just pure free form deck building, which is intimidating to many people.
Oh man, yeah.
And pre-constructed decks which lack the creative control.
Right, like Sentinels of the Multiverse versus Mage Wars.
Yeah.
Like it could be very dynamic or very stringent. Takeaway from drafting games, though. I don't know if I have a full takeaway from all of these. You have
Yeah, well, I had a takeaway from each of the games we played.
Yes, we talked about those.
But yeah, I guess, I don't know. My takeaway might be just from this conversation, like thinking about whether or not a game should have drafting or not. I hadn't thought about that much before that idea I brought up of the inherent disappointment that your stuff gets taken away from you.
Yeah. I think I found a takeaway. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. This is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it has to do with the style of draft. So when you're thinking about the game that you're making, and if you're making a card drafting game, really focus in on what information everyone should have. Mm-hmm. And so the three versions that we played, we had the one where we have a deck of cards that's equally divided between us, and then we know what's in a third of the deck at first, and then we kind of keep
Yeah.
going through it. So we get knowledge of everything.
Yeah, we quickly learn almost all of the options.
Yep. And so we have access to really most of the deck within the first 3 rounds for a 3-player game.
Yeah.
And so like that gives you a lot of information. That's good for competitive, and then you have all this stuff going on. For Biblios, you have complete concealment basically, and then you're figuring out where things are going, and it's very secretive.
You know almost nothing.
You know almost nothing, including what you're going to get in your hand next. Which, if you want to have that kind of concealment, then leaning it towards like a spy or mystery or something like that could be really interesting. Just in terms of theme meshing with that mechanic. And then having an open area be a co-op game so you don't feel bad if your ally gets the good card.
Yeah.
I think that's a great solution for that.
Yeah.
'Cause you don't have those bad feelings because, hey, they needed the card and they did a great thing with it. I don't feel bad at all.
Yeah.
And now there's a good card there again, and I'll get that.
Here's an idea. Like maybe a drafting game where you are better off drafting from some area of the board than anyone else. Like say I'm looking at the board from this angle, and the ones closer to me are free.
Oh,
but as
interesting.
it gets closer to you,
It
they're more
costs you more.
expensive.
Like,
so
yeah.
we can see everything possible, but we're still kind of like,
Then they could be triangular
likely.
cards for a 3-player game.
yeah.
And then we could match them. No, sorry. I'll stop.
Trevor's game that someday the universe
May
will
see the light of
enjoy.
day. We'll see.
Yeah. But I guess, okay, here's a positive spin on that. Just, I was getting down on that open draft. People are taking their things away that you wanted. But I think just to bring it back to what makes drafting fun and why it is a good thing to have in a game is that you just get stuff. Like you're constantly getting stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay for it, which
Yeah.
a lot of games, I think a lot of prototypes would benefit from avoiding money altogether.
Yeah.
Like, why are we spending time to earn money to buy this thing? Why
When
don't
we just spend the
get
time.
the thing?
You're already implicitly spending the time
Yeah.
if you have a limited number of actions, which you probably do.
If only we could use time as one of the resources.
It's,
Sorry, we were talking about this earlier.
It's like, so I always think of Magic the Gathering versus Richard Garfield's later game, Keyforge,
Yeah.
where he
Yep.
did away with mana, paying for cards to play out,
And
just
customizing your deck.
I really like that mechanic
Yeah.
in Keyforge.
Keyforge is a great mechanic. You have a hand of cards with three different colors possible, and you just pick a color and play all the cards of that color. And once they're played, now you can pick that color to activate them. So it's just like a super nice system.
Or you have like Dvorak, where you can of course define. Dvorak is a game where the players make the cards, and the rules are very simple.
Yeah.
Basically, every turn you may draw a card from the deck. You may play an action card, which are cards that are discarded after playing, or you may play a thing card, which are cards that sit face up in front of you and you own them. And you play until someone plays a card with a victory condition that they satisfy. And that's basically all the rules, except there's also a hand limit of 5. But the cool thing about that game is that really the only resources are you can draw a card, you can play a thing, you can play an action. And that's it. And you can make an amazing amount of content from those 3 resources every turn. So yeah, you don't need resources. Player actions are already implicitly a resource.
Actions speak louder than resources.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. There's an argument to be made for like the thematic sense of and like progression of like, ooh, I'm building up to get this cool thing, which also feels good in a game when you've spent time to plan ahead to get this thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of games can cut out that part to get to the more fun actions to do.
Yeah. I mean, even when you have resources, actions are still generally more valuable. Like, when I'm a lot of the time when I'm playing games, and if I see an opportunity to gain an action or to do more with fewer actions, I will take it.
Mm-hmm. Well, any last thoughts on drafting? Or?
I used to feel very neutral towards drafting games, but I think lately I've really started to enjoy them a lot more. And I think it's just because of the elegance of the design and seeing like that simplicity in there. It's just really nice. Because you have so many times that these, resource markets and things can get really crazy and funky and like, okay, trying to balance that, do the It's like, oh, you just take a card and it's mine now. Well, that was easy. Great.
Yeah, it really minimizes the distance between choosing things and getting the ultimate reward.
Yeah.
Because choosing the things is how you get the reward.
Right.
The thing you choose is the reward.
Right. And so the opportunity cost becomes the cost from the other cards, right? So you can't do those things. Okay. But I wanted to do that thing, so that's great.
Yeah, but it does away with the long chain of, okay, do this thing to do this thing to do this thing to get the reward.
Right.
It's just take the reward. Just take it.
Just take it.
It's right there. Just take
yours.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think where drafting games shine too is when it's a really tricky decision between this thing will be good for me right now, but this thing will be good in the future, or deciding, I don't know, and having a risky choice and a safe choice. Mm-hmm. Like even a simple drafting game like Sushi Go has some riskier cards to pick. Like, ooh, I might not get the combo card with this, but I'm feeling risky. So, yeah.
I just had a thought where, okay, if you were to combine a drafting game with any other type of mechanic, maybe that we've covered so far, what kind of mechanic would you think would be a fun thing to throw in there?
Well, obviously drafting is already combined with a lot of games, so maybe social deduction. What would that look like?
Oh. And maybe you have all each unique roles, and then you're drafting to determine what happens in the thing.
Yeah.
It could be a semi-co-op.
This reminds me of a idea I had. Maybe I should try this drafting game. It was a pick and pass social deduction thing where you're vampires.
Oh, yeah.
I think. And
classic.
I think you were picking a card out, and you're as the deck's whittled down, you're seeing ooh, there's not many wooden stakes left. Maybe I need to become a vampire myself or something like that. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah. I like the idea of social deduction being hidden pick and pass.
That's an interesting point, because the thing about pick and pass is that as the hands go further and further along, the information dwindles. So the earlier players have a lot more information about what is in the hand. And then once the hand is out, they know that somebody has to have each of those cards after them. But the people who are after them only know whatever they're past.
Sure. So they may have even seen the hand before and knew what was there before, but now it's missing some things. Who took those?
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if the person at the beginning of the line and the person at the end of the line talk.
Oh yeah.
And find out what was left over.
Yeah. Ooh.
If you guys want to make that game.
Okay. Well, we have 80,000 ideas already, but we'll put that on the shelf of to be explored.
This is good though. I was in a kind of low on my game design tank. Of ideas. So.
Ananda's got some if you want.
Yeah, it's true. I know. I thought I would never say that, but I don't know.
Oh man, I'm almost out of game designs I want to develop. What?
Not anymore.
So would you want to do social deduction? Then you want to just borrow that, or would you want to combine it with another one?
Take it, Charlie. It's yours.
Okay.
Take it.
But yeah. Well, what other? Do you have an idea for drafting plus something else?
I was thinking actually about incorporating it into one of my designs right now, which is my probability farming game. So incorporate the cards that people get, because it's a co-op probability farming game. Everyone then drafts cards that are improving their character, and then you still use probability farming to resolve the effects, and those may make resources or do other things, but the draft then can just be the stuff that you learn.
Yeah.
the ways that you improve. Because then I don't have to worry about cost for those things, and then the money and things could go towards other endeavors instead of like having all these different costs for all these different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. And I say this having no idea how it would work, but drafting and logical induction.
Oh. Ooh.
How does that work?
I have no idea. That's a stretch. Logical induction.
Yes.
So you're
What were
okay.
our games from that series?
Zendo.
Visitor,
Turing Machine.
yeah, and Visitor in
Yeah,
Blackwood
Visitor.
Grove, I think.
So if you are drafting, so maybe you have one character or one player who knows the thing, and the others are trying to guess it, and so they draft to give clues. Could be it. That's more like Visitor, I suppose. What's another?
Cryptid. Alchemists. I mean, Alchemist is kind of worker placement. Alchemist is a worker placement / logical induction game that leans maybe a little bit more heavily on the worker placement side of things. The logical induction is just a smaller sub-game within it, although an important one thematically. But you could probably make that work with drafting to get the ingredients you need to perform tests. That's how it works. You need
got it, guys.
items to perform tests to learn the rules of the universe, or the logical induction laws. So the things that you're drafting are the raw. Like if you were theming it similar to Alchemist, it would be the ingredients and the potions. But depending on what theme you're going for, it's basically the things, the materials you need to perform your experiments. Or another example, if it were Zendo, it would be the colored blocks that you need to build your structures that you're drafting.
Sure.
Which means that depending on what things you're trying to test, different players may care more about different types of materials. And so different materials may be more or less important. But the materials, I guess the interesting thing there is the materials aren't worth points inherently. It's what do you think you need to learn the truth?
Yeah. What I like about that, it splits apart the you doing a test and then everyone learns from what your test was, versus like, ooh, I see Ananda's getting a lot of red things. Maybe he knows something that I don't know about red.
Yeah.
So now I get more of a chance to try something on my turn. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could work as a combination.
Yeah.
Interesting. Sweet. I love it.
Yeah. This is good testing for the game design game.
Oh yeah. The game design
Combining
game.
mechanics.
Oh yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What works well with, and so I was actually thinking about that, and I'm realizing drafting is a blue mechanic, where resource management's a green mechanic. I was going to say that earlier, but I'm like, should I even talk about that? I don't know. Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, well, we'll probably be talking about it in the future, and probably Trevor has brought it up before that
I have,
an idea to make a game design game.
because it's good to make game design games to simulate designing games for game designers.
To be 100% meta,
100% as meta as we can get.
and it may be even more meta than we even know. Listeners, you'll find out someday. Okay.
We started working on this while Ananda was in Sweden.
I'm not sure what they're talking about exactly.
See, we just keep our listeners in suspense, and then they'll keep listening for future episodes. So, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah. And next up we have TBD.
Yes. Well, thank you all for listening.
Hey, thanks for listening to The Tabletop Takeaway. This podcast is made possible by listeners like you. So please tell your friends and visit our website at thetabletoptakeaway.com, where you can suggest games and mechanics for us to cover next on the show.